No.
Alright. Hi, I'm Reagan Nelson, and this is my MPX presentation on Marine, and it's called World's End. This will be more story this one. Thank you, mind. As I walk through the city, empty with dust and bones, shattered city, abandoned. I see above the skyline, above the top of the buildings, I see a poster from the old world ago about mental health and the issues of the old world. I look upon it and remember one thing of realizing and feeling how the old world must have felt during the time of crisis and need of all these issues. It made me feel as though I was making a difference by at least doing this. But those problems were solved in the old world ago. In the year 2021, when the graduating class solved, they solved all the world's problems within 3 years. But still, the world ended. As I walk past the building, I see a statue of a man with the name Columbus written at the bottom, but with no head. It is said that the elders speak of a trial he had long ago, but he himself was not there, only people to represent him. I feel as though that the trial was always weird, in my sense. He was there, but not there. People represented him. So I've always felt as though the emotions of people got overwhelmed in the sense that they needed to be risked and involved to understand that these are not the people you are trying to accuse, but the people merely representing him. And people got outrageous when eventually Columbus and his men were trialed. So after Columbus and his men were accused of the crimes they committed, there was an outbreak, massive, hysterical, constant time of disagreement, and almost a war. But still, it was solved, and thus the world still ended. As I go through one of the near few remaining places of trees and plants in this abandoned city of concrete, I realized and remember one thing I saw long ago and heard from the elders when they found a recording of something that they called a podcast. Something of where the people were talking about the ancient times, even before the old world's time, where people were talking about the properties of wood that they used for canoes, for boats. But it's very hard to use those with very demanding resources these days. But as I pick up what few remaining sticks and poles, I continue on my journey. But then again, as I look and remember the old world's times, I remember the world still ended.
What is this?
I grabbed some capital for a book I found. For I need to get resources, not like food. I realized this one thing is though, I remember long ago, when a man named Stan taught me the ways of how to make a hook and how to make it fly, as I catch these for my resources and food that I need. And I remember it as though the day I met Stan, I thought, well, this is something I would almost never need to use again. However, was I wrong? I realized one thing importantly, how the creativity that Stan taught me could be used to help others, as I showed him around to others, and for him to teach others what he taught me. All these flies and things I've made in the past, it's sad that I lost them all, having to make new ones on the spot, with the creativity and only things around me. But I remembered one thing, as I continued on my journey, the world still ended. As I head to the zoo, get more food, I realized this one thing as I look up to the side of walls. There were plenty of zoo banners from a class long ago, in the old world's time. And I remember a poster, and one particular I saw, this one here, where it challenged people in the world to understand that it was hard for them to understand that simple creatures such as a goldfish, even their dogs, could cause waste to the environment. So people, as arrogant as they are, were desperate to challenge it and realize one thing. My goldfish here is a harmless creature. My dog here is a harmless creature. Even though facts and statistics prove it, people learn, people adapt. People try to show knowledge of this, which was my greatest goal in which I do today, to continue on. But, of knowing one thing, people are arrogant. People are dumb sometimes. And people like a challenge. So people released all their pets into the wild. Because why not? Because to prove one thing to the world, that my goldfish, my pet here, is harmless. He can't do anything. But over the demanding power that the generation sees to do something about the world's actions, to solve every world's problems, this is one of the first few to be solved. Because Gen Z apparently can do things. But after all that time of solving all the world's problems, they literally did nothing after that. They sat down, they went home, they went to bed, slept on the couch all day. The world's problems were solved. But alas, the world still ended. As I head to where I see food down below, in the water down below, I see the fish. And I think to myself in a creative way of saying, the times where all reflecting on the old world's time, remembering how the world could have been, how the world could be now. If only we had worked hard, if only we continued, if only we strived and not progress. And realize that one thing, that the world still ended. As I continue on and think about this, as I make my fly to catch the fish down below, I realized one thing of grabbing these fish. I cast my rod. Yeah, you can go. You can go forward. Yeah, there you go. I feel I cast my rod back, feeling as though the world is about to shake. As though I have a bad feeling, as always. I feel as though, as I cast my rod, I close my eyes, feeling as though the world is about to end. It's so funny. And as I cast my rod out into the open, I open my eyes. I realize one thing entirely important. As I open my eyes all upon the world, I realized one thing. The most important thing I realized was one question, one important thought. My mom asked me, "Did you finish your NPX project?" As I woke up and saw my mother standing over me, I realized everything I had in that dream was merely just a dream. The world didn't end. I was never in an abandoned city. But this is probably one thing. I realized one thing. The most important thing of all those things I realized, I reflected on everything. Everything this quarter, everything this semester, I remembered everything. I knew exactly what I was going to do. I knew how to do my presentation. I knew how to do my script. But I remember one thing. I didn't do it. I forgot to do it. Because the one thing I always do is procrastinate. So this exact moment, I realized one important thing. The most important thing this entire semester was this. My world was about to end.
Oh.